Greetings all, this is Hairy Nick. We're back on the Star Wars Legion page for the FFG website. We have another reveal article for General Veers, which is interesting because last weekend we had Han Solo revealed. And we're still waiting on the Imperial counterpart for that commander. In fact, that entire half of that wave has still not been revealed yet. We don't know what's going on there, so a little odd that we've had this article for General Veers come out first. But look, reveal articles are reveal articles. I'm never going to complain about getting them. And this is also good because the last time we had a look at General Veers on the channel was way back in December, way back before we had any context of how the game runs, way back before I had any chance to play the game at all. And this is good because now we can look at these cards and have a much better idea about how they're going to function in the game. So right off the bat, before we scroll down through the article, I'm going to bring up the spread here because this image actually was not included in this article. It was in the original reveal article several months ago. What we can see here with these upgrade cards is we have one face-down tech card. Now, despite the fact that we've had basically everything from Veers' pack revealed, we do not know what this is. And what's interesting and makes me slightly nervous is this might be a different upgrade. I've talked about this before. We don't want to have the culture with Star Wars Legion that you have to buy all these different packs to get these upgrades. I don't think that's what's happened here, but fingers crossed this isn't some kind of unique upgrade for Veers and Leia. I'm pretty confident, having said that this is just going to be another copy of grappling hooks. It makes the most sense. So far, every core unit leading up to this expansion has a copy of grappling hooks in it. And of course, he can also take targeting scopes, but that's included in the core set. So it's always assumed going forward that we already have a surplus of those cards. That's my bet on what's happening with those three upgrade cards. Let's scroll down through the article and take a look at the command cards. Alright, working our way up through the pips, let's start off with maximum firepower, and this is a massive flavour win. It is just for General Veers. At the end of General Veers' activation, he may perform an attack using the following weapon. Range 4 to infinite, 4 red dice, impact 2, and immune to deflect. This, of course, is meant to represent some kind of bombardment from a neighbouring AT-AT or an orbital bombardment of some kind. It is just worth noting, guys, because I've seen a lot of people get very excited about this card, not to just treat this as some kind of free attack at the start of the game. You do need to have line of sight to get this to work. But the fantastic is this is going to be really good against Jedi. Well, at least it's going to be good against Luke Skywalker. We don't know if there's going to be other characters with deflect moving forward. We only have Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader so far. But the fact of the matter is you can take a pot shot at an enemy commander, even if it has a lightsaber. Of course, it's an orbital bombardment. You can't just deflect that with a lightsaber. Hence, it's immune to deflect. Impact 2, so you're going to turn 2 of your hits into crits. And it's also worth noting that Veers already converts his surge results to criticals, so this is quite easily going to sling 3 or 4 criticals at your opponent, which is going to also be great against vehicles. Next up, for 2 pips, we have evasive maneuvers. This is just for 2 vehicles. Which is interesting because if I'm not mistaken, this is the first command card we've seen revealed that cannot issue orders to its commander. When a friendly vehicle unit is issued an order, it gains a dodge token, and friendly vehicle units can spend dodge tokens to cancel critical results. And it's very important to note, I had to read this a few times to make sure, it says friendly vehicle units full stop, not just the 2 that got those free dodge tokens, which is fantastic. This is a great utility card with vehicles, and this in particular has really made me think with General Veers. Look, if it's going to mirror the same pattern that's happened with the Rebellion, and all indications moving forward with these initial wave releases is that whatever Imperial Commander and Rebel Commander or vice versa comes out, its opposite counterpart in the same wave is going to mirror how it functions. We've seen that with Darth Vader and Luke, we're seeing that with Veers and Leia, we're probably going to see that with Han Solo and whatever Imperial Commander comes out in Wave 3. And with that in mind, that means that General Veers is going to be the cheapest commander that the Empire has, at least for several months after his release. And the fact of the matter is, right here, bam, we know he works great with vehicles. That's going to be a thing, and that already makes me think, okay, Veers with 2 AT-STs is going to be a real thing. Now that we've had a bit of a play around with list building, yes, you can theoretically put 2 AT-STs on the board with Vader, but it's really hard to do. It really means you've got to strip back on the upgrades on basically all the units in your squad. And just looking at this, looking at how cheap Veers is compared to all the other commanders, and looking at this card in particular, I think that's going to be a pretty legitimate type of build. And last with the command card, we have Imperial Discipline. This is General Veers and 2 units for 3 pips. When a friendly unit is issued an order, it may recover. Now I had to double check this, but I was talking before about how General Veers works quite well with vehicles. Unfortunately, as the game stands right now, there is not much value making vehicles recover. In fact, there is only one instance where your friendly Imperial vehicles can recover is going to help you, and that is when you have an ATSD with General Vice, because you get to push the unit all the way up to Arsenal 4 if you can recover and re-ready the General Vice card. Apart from that, vehicles can't take suppression. Apart from that, there are no other cards that need to be re-readied, and that's the only reason you ever need to recover. On the flip side, however, there is plenty of use of this alongside Imperial core units. We of course can remove suppression across the board on all of them, except on Vader of course, but honestly I don't think this is going to be used alongside Vader too often. I think more often than not we're going to want to take Vader's 3-pip command card, not this one. But we also have the heavy unit which sits in the Stormtrooper ranks. Needs to be unready in order to fire that shot. Very powerful, devastating shot, and if we can get some recover actions for free, you might be able to squeeze a bit more value out of that card. And given all of these things, it's pretty clear what General Veers' role is going to be. He is very much the support commander for the Empire. If you take a look at his core stats, yes, he has the offensive surge to critical, and that's fantastic. However, only 5 health and 2 courage is not the most resilient commander you can get on the board. He defends with red dice, but of course he has no defensive surges. His hand-to-hand combat is okay with 2 black dice. His blaster rifle is okay. Has PS1, that's always nice to have. But it's clearly not the main thing this guy wants to be doing. If you're relying on General Veers to do your attacking, you're probably already behind in your game. It is worth noting that alongside the tech slot, he does have 2 of what has been revealed in this article to be command upgrades. And these are very interesting. Now, we've seen this before, but let's go through them again in this video just to show you guys once more. Plus, it's very nice to get some proper high-res images of these. This is Esteemed Leader. While defending, each friendly core trooper unit at range 1 gains Guardian 1. While a friendly unit at range 1 is defending against a ranged attack, you may cancel up to 1 hit result for each result cancelled, roll 1 defense die, convert surges, then suffer 1 wound for each blank result. So basically you're deferring damage off to your friendlies. And this one's a bit of a mind twist because the text here, italicized in brackets, is a clarification text for Guardian 1. And the way it reads, if you just read that as one big block, it looks like Veers is protecting his friendly units. That's not the case. The friendly trooper units around Veers can protect him. That's the whole idea. And that's good. If Veers gets in a really tight spot, he has to defend against, say, enemy speeder bikes or something like that. He's just had a bad turn. He's got to defend more than he's usually comfortable with. This is going to be a great panic button. Only 5 points. I think that's well worth it. And plus, we have Commanding Presence, which is a 10-point card that allows you to issue orders at range 4. Which is very interesting. At first glance, I thought, well, this is just a strictly worse battle meditation, surely. Then I realised, hey, battle meditation can only be used on one single unit. You can do any unit all across the battlefield, but it can only be used once. With this card, you can issue any of your orders up to range 4. Say you issue 3 orders with a 3-pip card. That means you can potentially reach 3 units that were not within range 1 to 3, and that's very relevant. I mean, that might not come up all that often. I mean, that's a bit of a fringe case. But it is important to note that yes, the ceiling for this is technically higher than battle meditation. And nonetheless, General Veers obviously cannot take force abilities, so even if you can't use battle meditation, this offers good redundancy. I don't know about you guys, but I've used battle meditation in all the games of Legion I've played so far, and I quite like it. It's a nice, fun, versatile card, and I think this will be too. And there you have it, guys. That's everything that's been revealed in the General Veers pack. I really like the look of this guy. I think for that budget cost, he's going to be a fantastic support commander. Super competitive. I'm going to begrudge not being able to use Vader. I love using Vader in the few games I've played. Always great fun. But having said that, I really like the options in terms of list building that Veers offers. And it's going to be great to have a lot of variety on both factions when these new commanders release. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and I will catch you later.